Conservative new media sports fans, we've got some news to bring you from the NBA. Raymond Felton, the point guard who is returning to play with the New York Knicks after spending last year with the Portland Trail Blazers, has said in a recent television interview that he believes he is better than former New York Knicks point guard Jeremy Lin. We'll give you 4 different links in the video description below the video player about this story. The first 2 links will be to articles about the story, and the last 2 links will be to Pro Basketball Reference pages for Raymond Felton and Jeremy Lin, so you can compare the stats between the 2 players. So what happened is that Felton, I think, was talking with the MSG Network. I'm not sure. He was talking with some television network. I believe it was at the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas, and he just basically said, "Yeah, look, I mean, sure, I think I'm better than Jeremy Lin." And he essentially said, "Look, I'm a competitor. I'm going out there. I have to have the mental framework thinking that I'm the best point guard there is." So it wasn't just talking about Jeremy Lin. He was kind of saying, look, I have to believe I'm the best, period. This happened, I think, around 2 days ago, something like that. So that's what this news is. Now, a little bit of analysis on what Raymond Felton said. At this point in both of their careers, Raymond Felton actually might be right. Raymond Felton is going into his 8th NBA season, and he really had a good run with the Knicks 2 years ago. He put up very good numbers, better numbers than Jeremy Lin has put up for an extended period of time. So at this point in both of their careers, with Jeremy Lin is going to be going into his 3rd NBA season coming up as compared with Raymond Felton headed into his 8th NBA season, Felton might be better than Jeremy Lin. Now, I'm not sure of that. I'm not saying he definitely is better or anything like that, but he's got some statistical evidence to support what he's saying there. And again, he started more games, and he just has more overall experience than Jeremy Lin does. Now, is he going to be better in the next several years than Jeremy Lin? Does he have more upside than Jeremy Lin? Who's going to end up being better or will be thought to have been better when both of their careers are done? That's a different question. Now, I will say this. Going into the 2012-2013 NBA season, Raymond Felton should have a pretty good supporting cast around him, including Amari Stoudemire, including Carmelo Anthony, including Tyson Chandler, including Marcus Camby, who's good at catching and finishing around the rim, or pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. So because of that, Raymond Felton might be able to kick up his number of assists. Now, his points might go down than what they were perhaps a couple years ago because there are more scoring threats on the Knicks, but his assist, for the same reason, should also go up. Now, Jeremy Lin's heading to a different situation in Houston. There is a chance that the Rockets will pick up Dwight Howard. Certainly that would help any point guard. Howard's a great finisher. But right now, Houston is a young team, got a lot of guys that don't have a lot of experience, haven't had a lot of success. So I think that it's almost the opposite of what Raymond Felton is going to experience, which is I think Jeremy Lin's assist might go down in Houston, but I think his scoring is likely to go up because they're probably going to need him to score more points to help out some of the other young players there. Raymond Felton is 28 years old. Jeremy Lin will be 24 years old in August next month. So my guess, my feeling about what's going to happen for both of them, I think that Jeremy Lin, when all is said and done, if he stays healthy and if Raymond Felton stays reasonably healthy as well, I think Jeremy Lin will end up having a better NBA career than Raymond Felton will end up having. But at this moment today, they're relatively similar players. Jeremy Lin, in my opinion, is more athletic than Raymond Felton is. But Raymond Felton, when he is in good shape And when he's with a team that he's used to and comfortable with the guys, he's an effective player. Certainly he did well in the Mike D'Antoni offense, just as Jeremy Lin did. But I don't want to undersell Raymond Felton. I'm not saying he's a superstar or even an all-star, but he's a solid NBA point guard. He's a guy that should be able to play his entire career, have a good, long career, and be able to do substantially well financially and be assured of an NBA spot. So I can't really discount him. I think Jeremy Lin will begin to really rise as a star in the league. Maybe not this year, but I think perhaps after that. Depends on who's around him. And I think Jeremy Lin has more future prospects than Raymond Felton. But I understand where Raymond Felton is coming from. Any competitor has to believe that they're the best, or why are you even competing? If you think everybody else is better than you, then there's no reason why you should be playing, unless you're playing for second place. That's my assessment of this situation and this news. We'll see what happens on the court in the upcoming season. These teams will meet twice in the regular season, once in New York, once in Houston. I'm sure there'll be plenty of hype around that. Hey, remember the comments, and Raymond said he's better and all this type of thing. It'll be interesting to see what happens on the court. I do think the Knicks overall as a team should be better than the Rockets this year. New York's got a lot of talent, both starting talent and on the bench. Houston is not in the same situation. Certainly, they'll be a lot better if they get Dwight Howard. They'll be better if they get Omer Asik, who is just been signed to a contract by the team and now has something like 2.5 days or something like that before the Bulls need to decide whether they're going to match that contract or not, which is similar to what happened with Jeremy Lin signing his contract and New York deciding not to match. But even if Dwight Howard comes, they're still, in my opinion, not going to be as talented as the Knicks. So I think the New York Knicks will do better than the Rockets will do this year. But we'll see what happens in terms of the statistics and the performances of Raymond Felton and Jeremy Lin. Now, give us your opinion about what you think about Raymond Felton had to say about himself and Jeremy Lin. Who do you think is the better point guard today? Who do you think between Felton and J-Lin has more upside? Who do you think is going to finish with a better career? What we saw last year was the full blooming of Linsanity and the Jeremy Lin phenomenon. The type of performances that Jeremy Lin was able to put together, I just don't think that's a fluke occurrence. He was too good in too many circumstances. I know what the Miami Heat did against him. I know that he had his stumbles. I know that when he was injured at the end of the year in the regular season, the team was able to do well without him and to make it into the playoffs. But the type of run and streak that Jeremy Lin went on has almost never been matched in the history of the NBA. And so I just think that there's a real there, so to speak. I think we're going to be seeing better and better things from Jeremy Lin in the time to come. Also, please vote this video up or down. Let us know what you thought about it. And of course, we welcome all of you to come and join the fun on the Conservative New Media Facebook group, where we have over 2,000 group members right now and counting. You can find the link for that group in the video description below the video player. This is NBA expert Paul F. Villarreal for Conservative New Media. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.